My name is Jack Learned and I fly out of Boise, Idaho. It's the best job in aviation. I've flown across the Atlantic, I've flown to Mexico, I've flown to Canada, I've flown to the East Coast on numerous occasions. And the fun thing about this little airplane is that the active winglets now make it all so much easier and smoother and more efficient. Our fuel burns are less, and it's got a great ramp presence. People come to the airplane to take a look at it. It's real fun. I've been flying for almost 45 years, and this is the greatest job I've ever had, greatest airplane I've ever flown. Our most recent trip that was of interest that really showed the performance of the winglets was a trip to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was not difficult to nonstop going down. We were 3.5 hours at 45,000 feet. Coming home, we also came back at 45,000 feet, but we had a consistent 70-knot headwind, and we were still able to nonstop Baton Rouge to Boise. We were 4.5 hours, but we landed with almost 800 pounds of fuel, and that's all due to the winglets. It's amazing. Because of that extra 3 feet on each wingtip, it climbs like a rocket. Our rate of climb on departure is 4,000 feet a minute, and we do that up till about 20, and then out of 20 we nose it over a little bit and increase our ground speed. But it's a climbing son of a gun. On a short trip, we're saving about 8%. Varies from time to time because you never know what air traffic control is going to do to you on your arrival. The longer trips were an easy 10% fuel savings over what we were before. And the ability to climb directly to altitude without a step climb and at gross weight, assuming it's not ISA plus 25, it's an amazing thing, and it works well. I can't swear to it and I can't prove it, but it seems to me that the airplane is smoother in the air, just in general, than it was before. It's so smooth it's spooky, it's almost like you're asleep. And it's difficult to explain the winglets to people that haven't seen them. They move in milliseconds practically. They're so quick. You'd have to be looking directly at them to even see the smallest of movement. And they don't actually perform specifically in turbulence until that turbulence is pretty severe, not severe, but noticeable. I mean, in light bumps and light stuff, they won't work at all, and they're not intended to. But coming out of Tucson yesterday, with all the thermals and the heat, it was a terribly rough ride, one of the worst I've had in recent memory. And those winglets were just working left and right to smooth that ride, and they did a good job. Well, Tamarack was great from day one. The communication, there's so many individuals that I spoke to, it's hard to name all of them, but every one of them was responsive. They returned phone calls, we left messages. It was terrific. And when we finally made the choice to have it done and we landed in Sandpoint, here's the whole team out waiting to welcome us to Sandpoint and get us in the hangar and all of that. It was quite a reception. The interesting thing to me was it wasn't just for show. They meant it, and then that relationship continued throughout the process. I've been many places, almost around the world, and for our money, Tamarack takes you further.